Well, here now to provide even more insight, I'd like to welcome in former U.S. Secret Service agent, Dr. Melanie Burkholder. Dr. Burkholder, thank you so much for your time. So many different parts to this. First, just get us up to speed on what is likely happening with this investigation right now behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think Evan and Kelly posed great questions. Nichole, thank you for having me. I do find it quite suspicious, and I would want to get to the root of the entire story that Evan just told about a police officer actually encountering the suspect and not doing anything about it. I was law enforcement. If I see someone proned out with a rifle in the direction of our former president, I don't walk away from that situation. I don't go down and regroup. I'm going in. So I really don't understand the logic behind that officer's actions. I think it's a fair question to ask what agency was in charge of securing that building, if in fact that was supposed to be secured. I think it's a very fair question to ask. Were additional resources requested? Were they denied? Were they disregarded? I think things will change after this major and horrific incident that leaves a stain on the fabric of America.
Absolutely. And I'd like to keep this video up if we are able to, because another question, in addition to how does something like this even happen, many people wonder as they see these videos, how could the counter snipers that we do see there in the videos not have seen the would-be assassin prior to him firing any shots? Because why wouldn't they respond sooner, especially, again, as you mentioned too, if eyewitnesses are saying they reported seeing a man on the roof, and we know that those counter snipers were already in position.
Well, Nichole, the Secret Service counter snipers, as I understand it, are trained for 1,000 yards out. They're not really trained for 150 yards out while they shoot 150 yards out, but they're looking at a broader picture of what's going on. So it could have simply been that they were focused on farther out than where the suspect was.
And that certainly does make sense if they are focused on farther from the target here. The Secret Service director this morning is saying that the agency has, quote, implemented changes to the former president's security details, specifically at the RNC. What do those changes likely look like, at least what we can know in the general public?
Yeah, and I did hear President Biden say that he was going to bolster the protection around the president. I mean, that's the very least that they can do, I think, and for that, it means additional resources. It means additional bodies. It means additional security measures that the Secret Service deploys in areas when there's a high threat level. And clearly, there's a high threat level around former President Donald Trump. So I'm super pleased that that's happening. I also heard the police chief of Milwaukee say the inner perimeter at the RNC is larger than it has ever been, meaning that is a secure area and the Secret Service is the responsible agency for the inner perimeter. So that's a good thing. I think that, will render it safer, absolutely. And it also requires more law enforcement. So you've seen agents from or police officers from Tulsa, Miami, different places across the country that are supplementing, and that's normal. That's standard protocol. We are a small organization and we have to depend on other agencies to help and support.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.